like displayed like from top to bottom. It's like I've never thrown. It's like me throwing a shirt off of a hanger onto my bed and then it just lands
It
completely.
covers the entire bed because it's big enough.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast.
Oh, I ain't shit. I know it.
Welcome to another episode of Chris and Sarat pick some bullshit and make Marcos watch.
Get the fuck out of here.
You started it. First of all, you started it.
No. You're not. No. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Look, no, because I have no problem admitting when I pick some bullshit. And in my opinion, I've seen much more worse bullshit than the shit that I picked. Like it was not.
This
good,
was a TV movie.
It was on Max.
It even had the fucking commercial breaks, like the cutaways. It's like
black screen, right?
And then ain't nobody died. Where were the fuck?
Yes, there's one person did. The dad did, kind of.
Listen.
There was no blood. There was no nothing. The motherfucker. I was screaming the entire time at the main character to shave his head. I was like, bro, what are you hanging on for? My man is like, nah, don't you see? It's shining, baby. He was like, take it off.
Oh man, this is gonna be funny. Get an introduction, Sarat. Let's get into it.
With that being said, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka at the Sunset Kid. I'm getting too old for this shit.
He's bewildered.
I am.
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Fort Delta. How's everybody doing out there?
Listen, I will contend that I saw the bones to a good story here. Okay. Execution wise, I don't know. But Chris, since you picked this movie this week, why don't you let the people know what piece of something you let us watch?
I went back to my roots of picking random movies. So I went to Max, HBO Max, whatever you want to call it. They just typed in the word tree. I don't know how this movie came from the word tree. I really don't. Yeah, I'm so serious. Yep.
Like a tree that bears fruit?
Yeah, TREE. And the reason why I got the idea is because I was on the way home and the tree's in the middle of the road. So that's the word I stuck with, tree. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask you. What was the impetus for that idea? Like, why did you land on the word tree?
First of all, spell that word. Spell that word, Makazi.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Why y'all always worried about if I can spell the words I say? Y'all just
because you be saying some shit that be out of pocket in terms of your character. You be like, it behooves me.
I'm Asian. Ain't none of this out of pocket. It's just out of my natural.
That's what I call a black Asian preacher. Be up in there saying a bunch of words to get the congregation on his side, and still just go back and barbecue chicken and rice, call it a day.
That's like my cousin. My cousin, he don't look like the smartest man in the world, but one day we was playing spades at work, and he just looked up at the TV. And was like, "Oh, that's a beluga whale." Like, what? How the fuck you know what a beluga whale?
First of all, can you spell beluga?
I'm just gonna say that next time I'm just around some shit like, that's a beluga whale.
This other dude I used to work with, Leonard. No, Leonard, it was Leonard's uncle, but he used to sit there. He just not really the smartest old black man, whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, I went over to this girl's house. That shit was immaculate." And I was like, "That's a random word for you throwing out in this conversation, brother."
I was bewildered.
But Chris, all right, so tell the people what movie you had us watch.
Well, that maybe I'm wrong, but from what I saw when I picked the movie,
it's Haunted Museum, Three Rings
Inferno.
Circuit. Inferno.
Yeah. So, but then I found out after the movie went off that apparently there's like 2 seasons of different small episodes. So it's a series, but this was a movie. The one that we watched was an actual movie.
It was a TV movie, is AKA Berenstein's Bears version of like what's it called?
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
No, what are these people? The couple that has the haunted items.
Fucking Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like it's basically these movies, but shittier for kids. That's what basically.
Well, okay, no. So the movie itself is based off of like Zak Bagans has the Haunted Museum in Vegas.
Correct.
Like presumably a lot of these items, the movies are based on items that are in his haunted museum. So in that aspect, I kind of like the setup, but I don't like the fact that he starts off by telling the story about the fucking item, because then you watch the movie like this movie ain't got shit to do with what he just.
Item. Yeah.
So now I'm watching it like, okay, are you just making up a story based off this item? Like maybe you shouldn't have did that in the beginning of the movie. You should just start the movie.
And
Yeah,
the whole movie, like, it makes me. This is what upsets me, like, because like I'm having a conniption here thinking about this
you
movie.
spell conniption.
Motherfucker, I do know how to spell conniption, but unlike you, I'm gonna refrain from it.
Oh gosh.
So suck a bag of salty dicks.
Just do it like Friday. Niption.
So this movie, like, it leads you to believe, first of all, from the way the movie looks, I immediately was like, oh, this is a fucking a Nickelodeon Nick at Night.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah, like same cast, same visual effects. Like, bro, even how like, I don't know how to like explain this. You know how like when you realize you're watching a TV show versus a movie, like how it just looks.
Yeah.
Like this looked like it was filmed in front of a studio audience type situation. Like when the kid, first of all, this kid really deserved to die himself.
Every kid deserves to die in your world.
Yeah, because this kid is insane. You know why I think he's insane? Because first of all, he stole the box, stole the suitcase or whatever.
That was their gimmick, but keep going.
But the second of all, what kind of child his age can fucking erect an entire like circus tent in his backyard with no directions? Like he knew what everything was. Like, oh, okay.
Well, let's do the math here. He's a white dude. He had a rope. He knew how to hang something.
Yeah, I was getting that vibes too. And then, first of all, why you go in it? Like, I know the audience heard the music.
Chris, give the backstory of what the plot of this movie is.
Okay, from my understanding, the plot of the movie is based on a fire that took place, a true story. I looked it up, honestly. 1944, I believe, in Hartford, Connecticut, of a circus fire.
Okay.
That was originally started basically with the dude saying that I don't know if he said it's like a demonic force, like some firehead demon, whatever, was turning like the whole thing on fire, and apparently I think killed like 160 people and injured like 600 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a massive deal back in 1940s. And according to the introduction, one of the clown outfits that was there, the guy owns from that whole fiasco.
Yeah.
You know, so in the movie, I'm guessing that it's one of those items that are found, but the guy that found it from is suspect himself. You know what I'm saying? Because how you work at a flea market with a whole inside store of items that you won't sell? You know what I mean?
Well, so, again, like I said,
okay, maybe
go ahead, Marco.
Maybe I missed something. Like I know the clown suit was the crux.
Yeah,
but didn't the whole thing that started it was the tent?
No, it was no. So the whole thing is like in the movie. It's the tent starts everything, but it's all based off of this clown suit that Zak has in his haunted museum. That's the thing that's supposedly haunted. So at some point in this movie, they had to get this clown suit.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I'm watching the movie, the idea that you steal something from a flea market and it turned out to be haunted, and now you got to go figure out the answers as to why it's haunted and what's going on, whatever. That in and of itself is a decent story. But the way it was done in this movie, like the dad, come on, man. Like
no. Can we talk about? I'm just gonna go straight to the kill shot. At the end, dad is like, "Here's the box," and the dude goes, and then the dad goes, "It was empty, right?" You're right. And nobody says shit to him. It's like, what?
Look, you see Marco's face, and he's like, open the box. That's what Marcos feels when he gets some chicken nuggets and ain't none in there. And he's like, whoa.
Oh, I'm slapping the shit out of everybody.
So here's one of the big things in this movie. Okay, so what happened is, the kid sets up the tent, starts hearing shit. He goes inside, walks in, and sees a whole ass carnival. Then comes out and they kind of act like nothing happened. Then
again, like the previous movie we reviewed, everybody's cool. It's like it's all right. Fuck it.
The dad went in there, found a whole ass carnival, stole a box, ran out, got chased out of there, and then the next day decides to go back to the flea market and steal shit like nothing else happened. I was like, what is going on?
I mean, okay, so with that being said, because there are some questions like, okay, what's going on?
First of all, hold on. I think we need to set the tone. It's some white people shit. Because they were like, it's all right. It's just another portal. It's just a portal.
One black guy in the movie, he was working at the flea market, which
it was just, hey, he might have been illegal. I don't know. He might have been Batamanian,
Yeah, who knows? But
jeez, Louis.
Shit, I don't know. They go through the backstory of it all. Obviously, they talk about the husband, and they go through him losing his wife.
No, they didn't go through none of that. They just kind of just quickly said something, and that was it.
I mean, but
they literally were like, we know what the 14-year-old kids are here for. Not about this guy losing his wife. It's for one guy to die at the very end with no blood and horrible CGI.
Can we talk about the neighbor? Why she look 12, but act like she was like 20?
Well, so that wasn't. She was what? She was probably his neighbor, like babysitter.
Okay.
She'd been watching. She said the kid looked like he was like 12, 13. And she said she'd been watching him for a while and shit like that. But even then,
the dad definitely got drunk and try to talk to her like, hey, you know what? You ain't gotta leave. Why don't you sit on this couch? Like, you had a beer before, right? You had beer. Man,
you
look real good. You look real good right now.
Oh gosh!
After they opened up the suitcase with the tent, he was like, "Dang it, ain't nothing valuable. Let me go to the pawn shop
and get rid of the rest of the stuff they stole."
So I mean, do you guys when watching this movie, do you guys see where they could have changed certain things to make this story better? Because I personally think they do. I think if they had lined up some of the events in different order, I think it might have made the story better.
I think so, and there's certain parts of the plot that I disagree with that I think they went a little bit too heavy-handed with. Like they made the dad so unlikable that his journey to sacrifice, I was just like, fuck that guy. Like when he died, like the only person that had emotions there was the son, and I think in my mind, if I was in the son's mind, it would be like, no, now I gotta go to foster parents. It's not like I love you, Dad. It's more like shit. My entire life is gonna be upended. It's like fuck that guy specifically, but fuck, I need an adult. Like, you know what I mean? And like his neighbor obviously was not old enough.
Yeah,
he was kind of like pulling him back, like, whoo, that guy was gonna rape me at some point. So I'm glad he died.
Oh gosh!
And then I don't know how you can call somebody Inferno when the powers are only hinted at very briefly throughout the movie.
Well, I think they called the movie Three Rings Inferno because it's based off of the fire that happened at the circus.
Mm-hmm. And the 3 rings on the suitcase.
Yeah. We'll
the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And you like, why was that scene needed? I know it was probably to bookend to tie into the TV show when the guy's like, and like we had like good 4 minutes of no reaction from the old guy.
Or the old guy at the flea market.
Yeah, he was just like.
Listen, I like this character. I like this character, but I feel like when the dad went back to the flea market to go find him, no, I would have liked it better if all of a sudden his shop was gone.
Yeah, I actually expected that to be gone. Yeah, but then I also like the fact that when the kid walks in, and he was like, a couple of days ago, somebody stole something right up under my nose. So he's like, he's sitting there, he knows that the kid took something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, whatever you do, just don't go inside that tent.
Yeah.
Like,
But can we talk about how he knew somebody stole something, but at the end he was still pissed that he got it back? Like he was like, "Fuck, like more inventory," and then he grabs it at the end. He's like,
well, so here's the thing: the guy, again, the guy made it sound like he didn't know what would happen in the box, and the way he acted like you would think he would. Unless he's trying to capture souls or whatever, who knows? But he's got a whole ass circus set up inside his thing, and it has characters.
he definitely knew what was going on, and especially the way he was looking at the end. What they left. Well, it's not a movie theater movie, but they left an opportunity to have the dad as a figure at the end of the movie to show.
Yeah.
They just focused on the guy that needs a hair club for men toward the end. Like,
okay? So the kid in this movie, his name is Sam. He didn't come across like someone. He didn't come across like a kid who goes, who's curious, who goes searching for things.
No, it was a job he did with his dad. Stuff.
But like he did so that, and by that I mean like when his dad leaves and goes to and leaves the fucking the suitcase in the basement and leaves, he doesn't strike me as the kind of kid who would then go through it and try to set up to see what was in there.
I think this kid was abused the entire movie. His dad left him so many times, and the fact that his dad was making him steal, and nobody cared. Nobody cared enough, to realize this.
Oh no. I will say this though, and yes, I stand on it. I don't care. Out of a lot of scary movies I've seen recently, this one had a few good jump scares to it. I will say that.
I mean,
it built some tension. It built some good tension in the movie.
I think the scares that was the tactic, jump scares, because overall, when they revealed all the monsters, they didn't look scary. If you're not scared of clowns, you're kind of like, oh, it's an asshole wearing a clown clown makeup.
As someone,
are you guys scared of clowns?
Clowns.
Yeah, he does.
Do you hate them or are you scared of them?
Bro, I do not like. They creep me out. They creep me the fuck out.
Okay.
The thing is, not scary ones. Not like the ones from not like Pennywise from It.
But what about Art the Clown? Does he scare you?
No, because he's
hilarious to me.
The way I see when I look at ones like that, they're trying to come across as creepy, and in that sense, I'm like, okay, he's just a creepy clown. But when you get regular clowns that just happen to be around you, bro, fuck them motherfuckers. Ooh,
hold on. Let's go back. Like, do you guys now that we're on the topic of clown, do you think Art the Clown is specifically trying to be creepy? I think that's what they're trying to do by giving him the teeth. But he's so emotive in a funny ass way that it's like I can't take him serious. You know what I mean? Like when he goes, like he does so much things in his movies that he needs more crazy gore for, and even then it's hilarious because
yeah, I can't consider him as anything. Like if I met him in real life, I'm just gonna shoot him in the face off the back. Like, look, dude, I have to.
To me, he just looks like someone that's trying to be a creepy clown.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, because
like,
again,
he doesn't look like a clown.
But does Bozo the Clown scare you? And that's the only clown I can think of.
Bozo, something like so that typical Bozo the Clown kind of look creeps me out because it feels like they're trying. It feels like they're like.
Have you ever seen the show? I know it was like in the early '90s,
listen,
late '80s.
I'm telling you, we used to do this. We used to do the family picnic at High Meadows, and I used to go there, and they had these clowns there, and everybody used to fucking take them, make sure them clowns come to me and give me balloon animals, and I'm like, "Yo, get the fuck away from me." It creeps me out like touching like scratching a chalkboard.
I don't like clowns in circuses though. That's the funny thing. Like unless not that they scare me, is like I don't think they're fun unless they're like doing the rodeo clowns, the clowns that actually part of the act, but funny clowns, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to see these guys getting out of a clown car. Like, you know what I mean? There's like balloon animals. It's like once you're a certain age, all that shit is boring to me. I was never scared of a clown, but the movie itself scared the shit out of me. And it wasn't the clown aspect, it's the creepiness.
The clowns they gotta be set a certain way. I went to a haunted house a few years back, and there was a hall where there was like 4 or 5 different clowns that set up in different spots walking through there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking, at least for me, I'm looking at them like, is there a body in there? Or is this just a statue?
Yeah.
And I actually say it out loud. I was like, which one of you guys are real? And I'm looking, and all of a sudden, one just turns and looks and drops his head. And I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because it caught me off guard. Like, I know one of y'all in here is real.
Yeah.
But you just showed me the fact that you could be a fucking statue. And that little movie you just did was like, okay, you know what? I gotta go.
I feel like if you take a clown face and the clown, like the way a clown looks, the dimensions of the body, because you know it's asymmetrical because of their costumes and shit like that, and their face. When you're looking at them like broad daylight, you're like, okay, you see a person in clown makeup, whatever, but you put shadows on it in certain ways, and because of all that, it kind of distorts the way the face looks and stuff. And I think that's where the creepiness comes from. But when you get a clown that's trying to be creepy, got the fang teeth and all that shit, like it just comes across like, oh, he's just trying to be scary. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So I guess the trustworthiness of the unknown, but I'm gonna say this entire movie there was not one scary clown.
No, I just don't like the way these kind of clowns look. If that makes sense.
No, okay. Yeah, I agree. There wasn't a scary clown. But I just
even the little girl clown, which gave me like Art the Clown vibes, like the little, like the one that they showed. I was like,
okay, so but what do you think those spirits? What were they trying to do in this movie? Were they trying to like get someone back because they stole the box? Like they never really they never really talked about why all of a sudden these spirits started coming into the real life.
I don't understand. Like did they ever like? Maybe I missed this because I watched this movie and then I had to watch Hot Garbage right after it. And so like my brain can only hold X amount of trash.
Oh man.
And so like why was the suit so special to the clowns? Is it one of their fallen guys or something? Like somebody that died in the fire? Like why was this particular suit like were they like appearing in the real world as apparitions to make this kid look crazy? And first of all, that fucking scene, like, this is how I know the dad was a drunk. When they were like, he said, Dad, he was right there. Like, if this was a regular movie, like, shut the fuck up, Sam. Like, because he was like, sir.
That was one of the scenes that
like, he would have, like, beat the shit, like, slap him and, like, don't let me get that belt, motherfucker.
What got me is when him and the girl running through the house and they run straight to the basement. Really?
Yeah, you
really? Run outside. Not the back door. Not the front door.
Classic. That's classic Caucasianism in Harlem.
Well, see, okay, so I think one of the issues is because the whole thing was centered on this clown costume, that they had to get to that clown costume at some point, but they never really gave a good explanation as to why this clown costume was haunted or why it carried in. Because in the beginning, when Zach is given an explanation of what this clown costume is, and he says that in his museum, someone presumably was like looking at the clown costume and all of a sudden just fainted and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like you would have thought there was something connected to the clown costume, but it didn't really. I don't think it really explained that too much in the movie.
Because the only thing from my memory is when Sam and the girl go into the tent and they're going down, I guess I'm gonna call it the hallway, and all the pictures of the clowns that they've been seeing are hanging up there.
Yeah.
They actually show the one clown in the suit. And the only thing I could think was that maybe he was the main clown. I don't know. But like you said, they didn't really go into much details about that outfit.
Yeah. It seems like I like the idea of like, them setting the tent up. And then, obviously there's a portal that goes into where the circus thing is. But like, I felt like it was too easy. Every time they went into the tent, they went to the portal. Like, if they had did it in a way where it started happening to the kid first, but when the dad went in there and checked, nothing happened. Then the dad could act like the kid's crazy. Then all of a sudden the dad goes in there one time, sees it, he comes out with the fucking suitcase, and then by that point, hey, no more going back to the damn flea market to steal shit. Like at that point, the story's got to keep going.
Excuse me. Sorry,
you're just trying to escape.
Yeah. So I get the whole Zak occult museum. I just think that they although this was apparently a somewhat successful TV show because Eli Roth was behind it and it originally came on Discovery Plus, I believe, or something like that.
Okay.
But go ahead. Tell us what you're drinking on today.
Well, no, I got this
Oh, shit.
I got this athletic brewing. It's
Let's
hazy IPA, but it's non-alcoholic.
rotate that
Okay.
can.
What?
Rotate it.
It's
No, like the
non-alcoholic.
colors. Nah,
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out the colors. Okay, green. Is it? It looks
I thought
black,
that was
Orange.
orange, yellow.
Tecate. I thought that said Tecate on the side. Like I was like, oh,
But here's the
okay.
thing. This can was in my golf bag for about 3 months. So I'm trying to decide if I should drink it or not.
Nah, I wouldn't. Check
You
the
know, my golf
expiration
bag was
date.
out in like the garage and shit like that.
I know,
Yeah.
but check the expiration date. I know the can stops it from being skunked, but if
Packed.
it's expired,
It was packed on 10/12/2024.
you
Actually,
got
it's not-
roughly a year. I would sip it, taste it, and then if it tastes off, just toss it. Don't drink the whole thing.
The fact that it's not alcoholic, I wouldn't even bother with it. You don't waste your time.
I gotta. Hold on.
Okay,
Sometimes you just gotta try.
it has a crisp pop. Okay,
Is it cold?
Yeah, I had it in my fridge.
no, he's straight out the bag.
I was about to say shit. Like, all right.
You can tell Makazi's showing that he got some money.
Oh, that's
He's
not
like,
bad.
yeah, it's in my golf bag. I go hit the balls with the fellas. A little U.S. Open, little U.S. Open drop reference over here.
He hits the balls of his brother.
Yeah, I got my child set and I just go.
Is Mickey Mouse plastic set?
No, bro, my putter is shaped like a pickle. It's my pickle putter. And anytime I'm on the golf course, people look at me and go, "Is that a pickle?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." And I fucking
And then he's
knock
like,
it in.
and that's all, and it's also on my putter. It's like,
Oh,
wait, what?
gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so do you think this story that had that this where this movie takes place with the whole clown costume and the fire and the fucking and the circus, like, do you think the movie should have been more about the fire? Like it said, like you had to get to the fucking the clown costume. So do you think it should have focused more on the costume and what that was versus the tent and the burnt down fire?
Oh, definitely. I think it would have made a better story. Like if you would have emphasized on the clown costume, even if it's a lie, but just for TV purposes, belonging to the guy that started the fire back in 1944. Okay, that might make some sense.
Nice. I like that.
But so going back to the clown costume, how come nobody told the dad that there was a clown costume in there? Like he stole it, right?
No, he stole the box, but then the kid opened it, and then the girl. The only reason they knew it was costume is because the girl was playing with it for a second, and she tossed it on the fucking the dresser. But that was literally the only
it
kind
automatically was like this.
Yeah,
Like fully like displayed like from top to bottom. It's like I've never thrown it's like me throwing a shirt off of a hanger onto my bed and then it just lands completely.
it covers the entire bed because it's big enough.
First of all, this is oversized and this is a 3X now. Your boy's getting smaller, so y'all can suck a bunch of pickled dicks.
But no, like again, because like I said, the whole idea of the movie or the story was supposed to be based on the clown costume, but that didn't really come into effect. You had that one little spot, and then when they returned the fucking tent, the clown costume was left on top.
I mean, it didn't matter until the dad was like, "It was empty, right?" And they're like, "Oh,
nah, not really." But did you get the dude coming through with the Wolverine claws or Lady Deathstrike claws, whatever you call them?
And then started massaging him sexually to the point that he got so hot and bothered.
He was like, "Get on your knees."
Busted.
But like, okay, so
it busted.
It felt like the idea. It felt like what was happening. I think what they were trying to get across, I don't know if they did it well, was like once.
Oh, they didn't get it across.
Once the dad stole the box. Well, no, once the dad stole the box with the clown costume in it, that's kind of maybe that's when everybody started the spirit started getting out into the house. But even before that, like the kid looked back and saw the clown sitting in the fucking tent.
Yeah, but that was after he had the box. That's after the box came out the tent.
Okay, so yeah, so maybe but they didn't get that across that much, right?
No.
Why did they want that box in the suit back?
And then they didn't communicate. I'm sorry, like they should have. You know what? Even if it would have killed the mystique, I would have had a scene with all the clowns. Like, all right, this is what we doing, because it's like nobody spoke. no
What, like
communication.
Morpheus? Right before they
Like
go into the
I
machine.
assume all these monsters were telepathic because they all parted like the Red Sea, and the dude came out, even though there was obviously a much bigger clown monster than him.
Mhm.
But he came out and was like,
Oh, I just remember something. The old dude did say, the old dude at the flea market, he did say, be careful what you took, or because you don't know what he's gonna take from you. He said he makes those people relive that day every day inside there. So I mean, they didn't go and emphasize it, but I feel like if they would emphasize it, maybe he was the person that burnt it all down or whatever, and makes everybody in there, the lady with the sword in the mouth and
Yeah.
clown with the pamper on and shit like that, whatever. Like this is their life every day, and they just lost something from them, which is a suitcase,
Yeah.
and they want it back. You know what I'm saying, for whatever reason. But
But-
it definitely had room to be better.
but
Yeah,
I think, hear me out. My whole theory of this movie, hear me out, players, is that this movie
Why
is
you like
about a
Cartman?
man.
I know,
It's
you do
about a
sound like
man.
Cartman.
It's about a man, right? That stole the box and then suffered for it. He burned. So if you try to steal somebody's box, get it? Box, you'll end up burning for life.
It depends on what box you stole.
Message.
If they got
The message.
gonorrhea,
Message right there.
syphilis, something,
And
that box is hot.
and Sammy's babysitter was relieved because it wasn't her box that was stolen. Because I felt like the dad was going to eventually go that route. There was a couple scenes that he's like, Sammy was.
I thought he was going to try to hit
back
on.
home.
I really thought he was going to try to hit on the babysitter.
No,
Yeah,
I did
that's
too.
he gave me creepy dad vibes. And first of all, he looked drunk the entire movie.
He was a drunk.
No.
Takes with no one.
He
No,
did
because
not take one drink in the
No,
movie.
because after the pawn shop, he saw the bar, and they made it look like, okay, he's gonna go resort to drinking, but then he showed up back at the house. So that's
Yeah, it's like he drank, but this is a kids movie. We can't show him drinking. So he was getting ice cream wasted. That they should have thrown that in. It would have been better. Like, Dad, stop eating ice cream. He's like, I love ice cream. Ice cream makes me feel like a man.
Okay, to me, if they got rid of that introduction with Zak Bagans, they got rid of that part. I think
it was
the story at least would have been have a little more like. Now I'm not saying it made sense, but yeah, I wouldn't have been thinking about how does this clown costume tie into the whole story.
Yeah.
I think they should have found a way to have Zach involved in the story, kind of like they do in The Conjuring and in the Amityville universe, where Lorraine and Warren are part of it.
Lorraine
and this is what
Warren's your last.
Sorry, Lorraine and Ed. Yeah. Warren,
get it right. Get these old white names right.
Are like they're better, and this honestly, that's to me one of the scariest film franchises of film, like Umbrella, that's out there. Those movies have made me scream multiple times, like a little bitch.
Which one's The Conjuring?
The Conjuring?
Oh my god, yeah.
Seriously?
Listen, that first Conjuring movie. Other than that scene where she's in the basement and the legs are floating, because that just felt like a little too much. Like those Japanese horror movies. Other than that, I think that's one of the best fucking scary movies I've ever seen.
And I keep confusing. I might be confusing my because the dad or the husband was in a couple of movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That they all are scary movies. But I forgot. But the one scene that always catches me, that now I know exactly the scene leading up to it, that I don't watch it anymore, is when he's sitting at the kitchen table and then the red demon pops up right behind him. That shit always fucking catches me. And I don't know if it's in The Conjuring or if it's in the
I think that's in the other one. Not The Conjuring.
Insidious. I think it might be in Insidious.
Yeah.
But like those movies, man, they like the Annabelle and all that shit. Like there's one part in Annabelle, and I forgot which one it was when they were on the farm with the all girls school, when the nun goes to talk to the doll, and you see like a dark figure behind it, and it goes, and it gets up and it starts. That shit scared the fuck out of me. But I think those were better done, and I think this universe that we dove into, the Haunted Museum, was more like a ready for TV, made for TV type thing. And honestly, if I would have watched this movie as a kid, around the time that you remember the Rising Sun and all that, all those made for TV movies,
Vanishing
like
Sun.
TV,
Yep.
yeah, Vanishing Sun. Excuse me. This would have been a hit, but I think that this movie was made in 2023. I don't know the audience for it. I know I'm not the audience for it because I'm so desensitized that I expected more violence. The jump scares were there, but there were definitely TV jump scares.
Yeah. Chris, what movies do you find scary?
Just
Besides CCTV cameras about you stealing shit.
I find that scary. I find that learn how to step my game up. Don't get caught next time. Oh, I don't know. It's really, really hard because, like I said, I'm not really a big scary movie person in the first place. Not because they scare me, just like they're just not as scary as they used to be.
Yeah.
So I remember when the new It came out.
Mhm.
That actually, I was surprised at that because it caught me off guard a couple times. I was like, okay, cool. Like if I want to see a scary movie, go to a haunted house, whatever. I came to be scared, so I want to let myself. I'm not gonna be in the theater or walk through the house like nah. I didn't come to be scared. I came for the experience. I want to be scared.
Okay, so what scares you? Like
I'm pussy.
I'm is it no? Wow, you're a piece of shit, sir. Fuck.
Oh
Fuck.
man.
But no, but like what's scary? Like I am a heavy, and this comes from my Latino background, being Dominican and like being around like stuff in Dominican Republic. There's a lot of stuff that I've seen as a kid that were unexplained. Like when I was a child, we went to Haiti and like you could literally hear a goat crying like if it was a woman wallowing like in the background. Like, you know what I mean? Being around voodoo people, like, shit like that. That like the occult scares the shit out of me. Like serial killers and stuff like that. Like a jump scare will get me. But like if it's mortal, I'm like, oh, a bullet will kill it. But if it's something like, like surrounding the occult or a demon, you know what I mean? Like it's one of the like you can make fun of me all you want, but like it's one of the reasons why I have a rosary tattooed on me. Like because like, I've always worn a rosary and like very young and early my mom was like, this will keep, spirits away or whatever. Like, and it's like I'm not even that religious, but I was born Catholic and did all my sacraments except, knock on wood, final rites, because I hope to not die in a very long time. But it's like, yeah, man, like stuff like that. Like, that's why it's funny when like my wife goes away, like me and my dog, I be just paying attention to him because my dog will do shit like he'll start growling at a wall. And I'm like, oh, motherfucker. Like we chilling here watching TV and you do some crazy shit like that. And then I'm like, okay, all right.
Honestly, because I grew up with shit like that, but I didn't see some shit. I'm not going to say that I haven't. Anytime an animal like kind of spaces out and they're looking at something that clearly ain't there, I don't care.
That immediately like Spidey sense, and then that's when like, I don't know about you, but that's when my brain starts going into overdrive. Like you start hearing shit, like little shit. Like everybody, I don't know about your fridge, but my fridge will randomly drop ice in the middle of the night because like that's when the cycle is, and then you're like, what the fuck, or like you'll be my upstairs bedroom. Like we have 100-year-old house. Like and the attic, like the shit will be settling.
Definitely haunted, bro. I should bring some of my ghost hunting equipment over.
Hey, do it.
Gosh.
But like, no, I'll hear like the house creaking and it'll be settling because you hear it like throughout the day. But like at night when I'm by myself and my wife ain't here, it's me and the dog. I force that motherfucker to sleep in the bed with me. He'll be like trying to get in his crate because he likes his private time because he's a boy dog. And then I'm like, nah, bro, just chill right here. Chill right here. And he'd be like,
nah. I've had situations where I know I'm in the bed sleeping. And when I sleep next to what the case may be, but I sleep like anyways, just from life experiences. And if you guys ever, well, not ever, because I know you guys have, but sit on your bed, it makes like a slight creaking sound.
Yeah.
And I'm in the bed and I know she's there beside me, but I felt something sit on the bed. And I'll just crack an eye open. And I'm like, okay, she's still here. So what the fuck is going on? Because I ain't moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've witnessed stuff like that.
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, where's the whiskey? I'm just going to act like this doesn't exist.
Have you guys ever had any of y'all ever had sleep paralysis?
I have.
I have.
I used to have it a lot in my godfather's spare bedroom, and it was the bedroom like in New York apartments. Have you been to like a Lower East Side New York apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Like that are now super expensive. Like he sold his apartment because they at first it was a rental and then the landlord got arrested and the entire building bought it from the city and they repaired it and it was amazing. But like it's like there's a long hallway. It's the first bedroom.
Yep.
When you come in, and then the rest of the house is like other bedrooms. The rest of the apartments, other bedrooms are way far. So you're like in the middle of the hallway, and then there's like a fucking a bed and shit. And I stopped sleeping there. Like that used to be because he's my godmother, my godfather and my godmother. Like they're like they were my godparents, and I used to go there all the time. And then like it was funny because my brother passed. Like I'll have amazing dreams, and like my brother will come to me, whatever what and stuff. But then like there was a good 2-3 summers where there will be an old lady at base of my bed, and I found out later on that there was an old lady that died there. Yeah. And she will sit there and like sit on my bed and then just smile and her teeth would be giant. And that like I would wake up crying.
Yeah.
And everybody's like when you're Hispanic and you're a Caribbean Hispanic, like you can literally come out with scars on your face. They'd be like, that ain't nothing but a scratch. You probably scratched yourself when you were sleeping. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Bro, there was one time at my parents' house, and I remember because it was taking a nap. It was like a Saturday afternoon. It wasn't even like fucking nighttime. I remember taking a nap, and then you get that dream. I had this dream that this big ass gargoyle was just standing on me, like just hovering over me like this. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know it ain't there, but I can't fucking move. Like I couldn't fucking move. I'm just sitting there, I could feel it just on top of me. I'm like, I can't move. I'm trying to tell myself what to do. Then all of a sudden, like finally, I was able to just go and turn my body sideways. And as soon as that happened, everything just disappeared. I was like, I started breathing in. I was like, what the fuck was that? But like, it's that moment, like, like I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I was asleep or awake, but I just remember that shit just on top of me. And I couldn't move at all.
Bro, after I got bit by the snake, I went through a whole bunch of mental stuff. Yeah. I couldn't tell what was real, what was fake half the time. I didn't know if it was medication, my body just out of whack, whatever. Man,
like that's one. It's crazy because like me, my wife being the background that she is Caucasian. They're like, oh, you should do mushrooms, you should do shrooms or whatever, and I'm like, no, I can barely handle reality. If I started having hallucinations.
I've done mushrooms.
Nah, bro. I would be scared. I would literally probably defecate on myself because knowing me, they'll be like, you'll never have a bad trip. And it'll just be like demons and vampires.
Nah, bro. The last time I did mushrooms, I was in Joshua Tree. I took a handful of mushrooms. And I remember
that's where you started wrong. You don't take a handful of anything.
Yeah. Bro, all I know is the bushes got up and ran across the yard. The fucking trees were breathing.
I would have had a heart attack.
The fence split into like 5 different colors.
Monster House.
Dude, but here, my biggest takeaway from that night, because I was walking around the backyard, no shoes on, no shirt on, just looking up the stars. But my biggest takeaway from that night was I was in the kitchen. I had a fucking Angry Orchard in my hand. I was drinking. I was like, I just looked down at my stomach. I was like, I need to eat more vegetables. That's the only thing I can remember. I'm like, that's my biggest takeaway. Is I need to eat more vegetables.
But going in the same, what scares you, Makazi? Like in terms of like me as a scary movie person, like I'm always into the cult. Like me and my wife watch a lot of scary movies together, especially when it comes down to the theater. Like we saw Final Destination, we saw The Strangers. That is her ultimate fear.
Strangers is fucking terrifying.
Like with me, I'll be like,
you should know, dude, where Chris lives, that's straight up Strangers territory.
But Chris probably has a firearm as a vet. You probably have a firearm or 2 there. Like that's an easy solvable problem. Like you know what I mean? Like pop, 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 pop. Like hey, don't show up in my house wearing a mask. Like you know what I mean? Like
Chris, you ever seen The Strangers?
I have not actually.
Oh my god, you gotta watch the remake. My wife damn near cried she's like, that is one of my biggest fears. And I was like, that's a big fear. My biggest fear is all of a sudden he took off the mask and it was like a demon. Like, that would be.
So here's the thing. I'm a guy. I go do fucking ghost hunts. I go do all that shit. So none of that really, all that spiritual stuff, like, doesn't really scare me like that. I think for me, it's regular people doing fucked up shit. Like when you just know that like regular people, because we're around regular people all the time. So like, chances are like, there's someone out there that's fucking nutty, and just knowing, hey, some of these people will just show up at your house in Connecticut, in Southern Connecticut. There was one house where some people just showed up again, like the strangers, and just attacked the people there. Just because they live there. And it's like,
but there's typically, I like to believe that yes, the mentally ill exist, but I like to believe that certain instances like that are drug fueled in a way.
Well, I'm just talking about there's some people out there who just, some people are just fucked up.
Yeah.
They
like, do you think some person like, and I don't want, and I'm no way psychoanalyzing anybody, but I like, my hope for humanity is that there isn't anybody that's inherently that evil, that it's like, time for me to get up and kill me some people today. Like, you know what I mean? Like a la Strangers, which there's a couple movies and they just rebooted it and it's going to be a 3-part. The second one is coming out this year. So the premise is people just going about their lives and then they are at the wrong place at the wrong time because people just attack them. But it's like not just attacking them, it's stalking them. It's like a prey to them. Yeah. And it's like, it's very creepy. I think you'll get a kick of it. The first movies in the mid 2000s were good.
What's it called?
But it had main cast, like mainstream, like A-list actors in it.
What's the movie called?
Was it Jessica Biel in one of them?
The Wrong Turn?
No. In Strangers, the original Strangers.
The original Strangers was the dude from it was the guy from fucking, it was Liv Tyler and the guy
Liv Tyler,
the guy from Underworld, the first Underworld.
Yeah, it's like Scott Speedman. It's like, but this second one that they are using like relatively new actors that are probably going to be famous in like 5-6 years. They're going to be the top guy. That it just creeps you out because it's like normal. It's like like you said, the premise of normalcy, and then these people would just be like, "Why us?" And then like, what happens towards the end of them is like the characters are just like, "Why not you?" Yeah, like basically that is like,
see,
you were just here.
So for me, inherently, I've met a lot of people who are, to me, inherently good. Like you meet them, you're just like, man, you got a fucking good soul. You're like, something about you is just a really good person. Like, and you're around enough people, you can tell when there's a person who's just genuinely a really good person. Mm-hmm. In order to have that, you got to have someone on the flip side.
So you believe in the balance in the universe?
Yes, I feel like the only way to really have that, because there's no way you have, if that's the other end of the spectrum, and there's no like bad side, and that means we as normal people are fucked up. If that's on the other end of the spectrum, I tend to believe that we're kind of in the middle, and then you got on one side, you got these people who are just inherently have good souls. Then you have other people who just, there's a couple chromosomes missing or some shit. Something ain't in there right.
Knock on wood that I never meet the other spectrum, because then that means my hope for humanity is fucked.
Yeah. I can't say I met anybody like I can't say intentionally evil because I got a history. We do something intentional, but I mean like where it's just like born in them, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just evil off the get go. I can't say I've actually met somebody like that. I met people that do bad shit.
Yeah.
But
or some people that like where like circumstances have caused them to become that way.
Yeah, but I can't say I've ever met somebody just woke up one day and was, you know what, I'm going to cut somebody's cat's head off. Like, really?
Yeah, but like think about like even the hardcore stone cold killers in movies, like there's something that'll make them pause. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh man, that's too far. You know what I mean? Like even in gangster movies where like oh man, they're coming to kill me and my family, blah blah blah. like even those guys, no matter how bad they're written in terms to be evil,
Yeah.
they're like, oh man, we ain't gonna do that. Like I remember in the 90s, it doesn't matter how crazy of a beef you had with somebody, and this doesn't exist now. None of that shit will come to your mother's door.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like as soon as you step outside, yeah, I might shoot at you, but it's like all right. But now it's like they'll run up in your mom's house and shoot her and shoot everybody. Like
Nowadays, I don't, and again, I hope this isn't a trend, or I hope this isn't the way humanity is going. But I've seen too many videos of like younger people like attacking older people because they felt like that older person disrespected them. I'm like, is that the point that we're at as humanity? That like, I get you don't have to agree with someone like that, but to fucking swing on an old person because they told you to pull your pants up or something, that's
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
no.
Like even if a person is like inherently racist, I'd be like, all right. Like in my mind, I immediately default like, yeah, it's fucked up what he said, but then I'm like, this man grew up when they used to beat their wives and she gave him the mail wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'd be like, all right, you probably called me colored or like a wetback or something. Like, you know,
One of the good ones.
like yeah. I've gotten that in the last 5 years. Like, hey man, you one of the good ones. And then I'm like I'm like, whatever. But then they're like, it'll stop me in my tracks. Like, this mother.
It's kind of wild. I've been in situations like being on the phone when I used to work for the gas company, and I would call the customer before I get there. And I like to think I have a pretty decent vocabulary, but when I get there, and they're just like, "You was on the phone?" Like, yeah, that was me. But you don't sound like one of us. So then I'm like, "Well, what's one of us sound like?" And they're like, "Okay, never mind." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then when you call somebody out, like that's not even a call out. It's just like hey, like the meme with Drewski's like, what you mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
like when you just ask that question, they're like, oh,
yeah.
I mean,
all right. Well, I mean, getting back to the movie, would you guys? Clearly, this was a made-for-TV show movie, and it's part of a whole other anthology.
Finish your thought. You say you're made for TV shit. I know you meant to say show, but you meant shit.
no, honestly, the way he's talking, I think he likes better than Sisu.
Oh yeah, I
likes everything better than Sisu.
I didn't because
we can suggest a snuff film, and it'll be like still better than Sisu.
That's what Sisu was snuff.
Oh gosh.
No, but I'm saying in this movie, if you realign certain things, I felt like it was a decent movie, but just obviously no budget. But like if you got rid of Zak Bagans' intro, reline some of the fucking stuff going to the fucking flea market and shit like that, I actually think you're like, okay, this is not a bad one, but they didn't have enough money to make it really good.
So I know I shit on the guy that needs Rogaine, but like the character concepts were good. I think if this was aged up and was an actual feature film, even like a Shudder movie, this would probably be hit. And it's like you could tell like the actor was like these are probably all horror actors, and they're like, oh shit, like our agent lied to us. like my man is bringing a heavy intensity. And then the only violence that happens is him massaging the guy's shoulders. And the guy doesn't even scream. It's just like,
yeah.
I mean, because he knew if he heeded the warning, be careful what he takes from you. So he thought he was going to take his son. So I think he knew somebody's going to die. So might as well be him. I mean,
I would have thrown. This movie should have thrown it on his head and have the babysitter die. Like, sorry, bitch.
That might have been interesting. I don't know. I don't think the characters were strong enough to with that guy.
Seriously, would you let your white woman die?
What?
Huh?
It's not my white woman. That wasn't his either. He was, but no, what I'm saying
but he was gonna steal that box at some point.
What I'm saying is, none of the characters were strong enough for you to really care whether they lived or died. So again, I think if you just elaborate on it a little more, and really build some depth into the relationships and the motivations. Like you knew this guy was stealing shit because they don't make enough money, but there wasn't enough there for me to really. You got a pretty nice house for a guy who's got to steal a bunch of shit.
Yeah. And he has enough money to pay a babysitter.
Well, I don't know if it's paying her, but then again, who knows?
Her box.
No, he was. He was like, hey.
She was delivering.
He was like, come sit on this couch. He's like, it's
her introduction. Hey, I got food. I was like, who the hell is this young girl just running up to them at fucking 12 o'clock at night?
What got me is she was like, the door's open. Like go ahead inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know the deal.
like, hey, back door's open, girl.
Man.
He's like, oh, I know.
Oh god.
Final thoughts on the Haunted Museum.
Yeah.
3 Rings Inferno. I thought it was the Haunted Museum 3 Rings Inferno. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Chris, is your movie.
Final thoughts. Definitely made for TV.
Mm-hmm.
In a movie theater, I probably wouldn't have seen it. I liked it. Like I said, I didn't like it. They could have added more, like you said, about the whole outfit and tying the story of the 1944 circus burning or whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as like some real in depth, make you think about some stuff, nah, it was really, in my opinion, just a cool scary movie that was created. Yeah. And they probably used real things to make that happen. But like you said, they removed the beginning monologue or whatever. It just made the movie. It probably had more ground versus trying to make you think it was really based off something real.
Yeah.
But to Marcos.
This was tough to digest, guys. Look, Makazi's dying to say a fat joke right now.
I had 3 run through my head. I ain't gonna lie.
But it is what it is. You know, if we keep doing this, we're gonna be like, you know, welcome to Sarada and Chris's These Motherfuckers Pick Shitty Movies podcast.
You the one started it.
And Marcos is like, what the fuck? And then it's just like, let's get Marcos back for Sisu. Sarat's
You're the one that started it, talking about this movie's fire.
Look, but the difference between us and you is you picked the movie you already saw. Our movies we pick are random.
No. Sisu was the only movie that I picked that I saw.
We're saying,
because we
and it was a piece of shit. And it was that's what I'm saying. We didn't know this was a piece of shit before.
Now I'm gonna do a Google search. My Google search, because it's my pick next. So buckle up, motherfuckers. I'm gonna go. What's streaming that is absolute hot garbage?
Okay, let's go. I'm down for that. Those are the movies this whole pod is based on. Those
and then you know what? I'm gonna put responsibility and clowns in the description to see if
actually, you know what? No, hold on, wait. I gotta rewind, Marcus. You got 2 under your belt because you picked that 1990s Power Rangers spinoff, and then you picked the Sisu.
What Power Rangers spinoff?
The kid,
Magic Kid.
Yeah, but this is a complete turnaround. It's my ball now.
We'll say you picked 2 movies you had already seen before.
Yeah. No, the Magic Kid. I was watching that under fresh eyes. I haven't seen that movie in 25 years. Like I saw when I was like 14, and completely what I remember in my mind and what the movie was, we were completely on different spectrums. Like I remember a kid being cool fighting. That's all I remember. And like I don't remember the uncle being a dirtbag, and the entire plot is the kid just kicking motherfuckers for no reason other than being poor or enjoying their lives. Like,
oh god.
Well, I think Haunted. I think this 3 Rings Inferno. Like again, there's a bones for a good story, but like attaching it to the whole Zak Bagans Haunted Museum, the clown thing. I think that made me wonder, like, is this movie supposed to be real? Is it supposed to be based on like it put too much put too much responsibility or expectation on the movie, where if they just did the movie itself, it might have been a little more like have a little more like weight to it, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Once again, it is your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
It's your boy Marcos, aka the guy that's stuck watching certain movies.
Your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Point Delta.
But I love this. I love this pod a lot. Like this is, I have so much fun doing.
There's a reason why it's called Movie Therapy. Like you said, the podcast comes second. It's really a conversation. You said something like when you go to therapy, like you can't talk to the people about the people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes you got to talk to somebody else. So a whole lot of shit goes off my chest, even if it has to do with stinky pussy or responsibilities. You know what I'm saying?
And the moral of this story is if you go and steal the box, make sure it doesn't burn you for life.
Oh, we're gonna end it right there.
Um,
I'm a warrior.